Welcome, friends. Today, I'm going to share with you a story that is not just about love, but about pain, healing, and the power of second chances. The title is, Single Dad Was Asked to Be Her, Date at Her Ex's Wedding. What she found out next left her in tears. Emotional scene. The wedding hall shimmered like a dream, golden chandeliers glowing, music playing softly and whispers spreading among the guests. Everyone was waiting for the next couple to walk in, but no one expected what happened next. The doors opened wide, and there he was, a single dad with strength in his eyes and a story hidden in his heart. Walking beside him was a beautiful woman, her hand gently resting on his arm. She had asked him one simple favor. Please come with me, be my date. Just for one night. But this night was not just any night. It was her ex's wedding. The room went silent. Every guest turned their head. Some gasped, some whispered. Her ex, standing across the room, froze in disbelief, his smile fading away. As the couple walked through the hall, the woman felt her heart pounding. She thought this was just about showing strength in front of her ex. But soon, she discovered something she never expected. In the middle of that grand hall, she realized this man wasn't just a shield for her pride. He wasn't there just to hold her hand for one evening. He was a father who had known loneliness, who had struggled to raise his child alone, and yet still carried enough love in his heart to protect someone else's. And in that moment, tears filled her eyes, not because of her ex, not because of her past, but because she had finally found a man who valued her soul, not her status. The whispers of the crowd faded. All she could hear was the silent promise in his eyes, a promise that she was safe, that she was enough, that maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of something real. Your friends, please don't miss a single second of this video. Watch till the very end. You will feel the emotions deep in your heart. If this story touched you, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share with others who need hope. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness, and your love and support give us the strength to keep bringing stories that heal, inspire, and remind us all that sometimes the most unexpected people enter our lives at the perfect time. Welcome, friends. Here's the full continuation of the emotional story. Single dad was asked to be her date at her ex's wedding. What she found out next left her in tears. Scene 2. The silent strength. The doors closed behind them, and the sound of murmurs filled the golden hall. Every step they took felt heavier, as if the weight of her past was pressing down on her shoulders. Her ex's gaze was sharp, piercing through the crowd, reminding her of every broken promise, every sleepless night she had endured after he left her. Her heart trembled, and for a moment she felt weak until she felt the single dad's hand gently press against hers. His grip wasn't forceful but steady, firm enough to remind her that she wasn't alone anymore. He leaned closer, his deep voice soft but strong. Keep walking. You're stronger than you think. Tonight the world will see the woman you truly are. Something stirred in her chest. His words didn't just comfort her, they rebuilt something inside her that her ex had shattered. As they walked past the whispering guests, she held her chin a little higher. She realized it wasn't just about showing her ex what he lost. It was about showing herself that she was still worthy of love, respect, and dignity. The man beside her wasn't just a date. He was a shield, a silent strength standing against the world with her. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and aap apna channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. The music began, filling the room with soft piano notes. Her ex and his new bride walked onto the floor, smiling for the crowd. People clapped politely, cameras flashed, and laughter echoed. But then, the single dad turned to her, his eyes warm, his hand extended. "Would you dance with me?" he asked gently. Her heart skipped. Memories of her ex pulling her onto the dance floor years ago haunted her mind. She remembered being laughed at, belittled, treated like an ornament rather than a partner. For a moment, fear gripped her, but when she looked into the single dad's eyes, she didn't see pride or arrogance. She saw patience. She saw kindness. She saw a man who wasn't asking her to prove anything, but only inviting her to feel safe. Her hand trembled as she placed it in his. The crowd hushed as the two stepped onto the floor. And then magic happened. The world around her seemed to blur. His arm wrapped gently around her waist, steadying her, guiding her not like a possession but like a treasure. With every step, she felt lighter, freer, as if the chains of her past were breaking. As they moved gracefully across the floor, she realized she wasn't being judged, she was being cherished. Tears filled her eyes, not of pain, but of healing. She had never danced like this before, with someone who made her feel seen, valued, and truly alive. For the first time in years, her smile wasn't forced. It was real. Like, subscribe, comment, share and आपका अपना channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome friends. The dance ended with gentle applause. But her ex couldn't contain himself any longer. He walked toward them, his jaw tight, his smile fake. With arrogance dripping from his voice, he said, "I see you found yourself a replacement. Don't think this changes what you'll always be." The words stung, reopening old wounds. She lowered her eyes, fighting back the tears. But before she could respond, the single dad stepped forward. His presence was calm, but his voice carried power, echoing through the hall. "You had her once, and you couldn't see her worth. You let her go because you were too blind to value what mattered. She is not yours to define anymore. She is more than your mistakes, more than your arrogance. And tonight, every person in this room can see that." The hall fell into silence. Even the music stopped. Every guest stared, stunned by the man's courage. Her ex's face twisted in anger, but he had no reply. His pride was crushed not by loud humiliation, but by the undeniable truth that he had lost something priceless. The woman's heart pounded as she looked at the single dad. Tears welled in her eyes, spilling down her cheeks. She whispered shakily, "No one has ever stood up for me like that. Thank you." The single dad smiled softly, brushing a tear from her cheek. "You don't have to thank me. You deserve someone who will always stand by you. You've always deserved that." At that moment, the entire hall seemed to disappear. The whispers, the stares, the painful past, it all faded. All she saw was him. A man who wasn't there for show. A man who wasn't pretending. A man who might just be the answer to the prayers she had stopped making long ago. Her tears no longer came from sadness, but from hope. For the first time, she believed her story wasn't ending in heartbreak. It was only just beginning. Dear friends, please don't miss a single moment. Watch this video till the very end, because I promise it will touch your heart in ways you never expected. If you feel the emotions of this story, please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness. Your love keeps us going, and your support gives us the strength to bring more stories that heal and inspire. Like, subscribe, comment, share and आपका अपना channel, Soul of Kindness.